This is The Soul Garden, presented by me, Georgina Langdale, for the Centre for Nature Connection, and it's where we get to explore nature, compassion and soul through the inner and outer workings of living in a connected world. I have found myself being called, really, to do a lot of work around helping people with the end-of-life transition, how to navigate that. In a way, what this is about is restoring death to a natural part of the life cycle. We've become such a death-phobic society, and I want to play whatever part I can in helping to redress that, to bring things back into balance, to acknowledge all parts of the life cycle, from birth to death and beyond. And I've learned so many things along the way. We are conscious beings, but that consciousness is also a form of energy. When I was a child, a traumatic event happened, and during it, I became energy, I became quanta, because I left my body. But I was still in my body, and there was part of me that was totally conscious and aware at a physical, bodily level of what was going on. But I was also floating way up in the rafters above me and looking back down on my body and just feeling infinite. And while I could see everything that was happening, and while that was still me, I had this infinite view, and it actually felt kind of peaceful up there. There was a form of, how would I describe it? There was a form of detachment. But in that detachment was knowing, was presence and peace. Now, when I look on it as a woman in my mid-50s, I can really see the Buddhist texts within that. I was absolutely in that moment, but I wasn't holding on to it. When we think about who we are, we talk about my body. We stub our toe and it is my toe. We get something in our eye. I had a dream. Everything is us, but we express it as something actually separate to us. My toe, not I am the toe. So where does this place us within ourselves? My body. I am within this body, but also I can radiate beyond this body. My energy of emotion and mood can affect a whole room, even if I'm only standing in one corner of it. So if you think about it, you are energy, you are consciousness. You are experiencing your dream, your stubbed toe, your bad mood, your good mood. You are somewhere beyond, yet connected to the experiences that you are having. And when we get to that space of beyond, yet connected, we can observe in a place of peace, in a place of, as the Buddhists say, non-attachment. In Renaissance thought, we were regarded as having a body made of prima materia, of stardust, literally, Marsilio Ficino said. This prima materia is the same within us within a landscape, within a flower, within another person, within our dog, yet we have these different forms, these separate forms and compositions. Then we have this soul, this thing that is us, that consciousness, that pure energy. And it is influenced by the planets, by cosmos. So there is this idea of, and I love this idea, that all these different planets moving through the heavens have their own push and pull with each other and with us. We are celestial beings, we are stardust, we are world spirits, so we're affected by these things too in our own particular makeup and composition. So what this says to me is we are a separate entity, we are a toe and a nose and a body, but we are also something infinite. When we look at this within the context of living and dying, we can start to find a place within ourselves, within our consciousness, where we can rest with peace, because you can see that you are more than the toe, the hand, the heart. You can see and feel and experience a sense of infinity that goes beyond physical form, time, and space. When we experience that infinity, we have an ability to connect to all things through all time. We can, in one instance, be in all the places that we love. We can, in that instant, connect to all the people that we love. We can experience, in one moment, a memory from the past, while sitting in the present and projecting to the future. This can help us, this awareness of this ability can really fundamentally help us as we are navigating living and dying. When we are with someone or something we love who is dying, we are seeing that we are no longer going to have them with us in that physical form. There is a period in that ending of the life cycle where that consciousness, that soul, starts to move between worlds. It's like a butterfly's wings beating. It's like the butterfly starting to break out of its chrysalis. When that butterfly is breaking out of the chrysalis, do we know if it is thinking it is dying, or is it being born? When the baby leaves the sanctity of the womb, of that whole world that it has known for the months that it has been gestating there, is it thinking it is dying or being born? Is it an ending or a beginning? I've come to believe that dying is also being born. It is an ending, yet also a beginning. And from that feeling of infinity in that incident in my childhood, I lost the fear of death as an ending, because I was able to experience infinity. And it was pretty amazing, actually. I have been walking by the side of a friend, and she has a life-limiting illness, and she is dying. And I am going to miss her so much. I love her friendship. I love her voice. I love her smile. I love the energy she has that fills the room before she even walks in it. I'm going to miss her physical form. I'm going to miss the sound of her voice. I'm going to miss her physical presence, yet I will still be able to connect to that sense of her as an infinite being. Is she the butterfly breaking out of the chrysalis? Is she actually moving on to a whole new state of being? And I believe that she is. I believe this through this experience of infinity. She asked me the other day how I was coping with the recent death of my beloved dog. And I said to her that I was very, very sad to have lost the connection of my dog with her physical form. But I can still feel her. I still have her presence, and I can still find her in all the places that we loved and walked together. I find her presence on the sofa in the sitting room in a sunbeam under the window. She's not lost from me. It's just that I've lost her the ability to be with her physical form. But she is now infinity, and she's with me in time and through all time. And when I sit here as consciousness, I can recall those moments of her as a puppy. I can recall walks in the park. I can recall those last few days of her life where she was starting to move between worlds. Her spirit, her soul, gathering up its butterfly wings that begin to beat as it pushes and cracks open the carapace of its chrysalis. We are consciousness. So when we can start to see, I am more than my toe, I am something bigger than this. My loved one is more than just their physical form. They are something infinite. And in dying, they are shedding their physical form to become something infinite that I can, if I choose to, connect with. There's that old adage, isn't it? We are a spiritual being having a physical experience. There's much to love about having a physical experience. It brings us in connection with this world and with people and the things that we love in it in a wonderful way. But let us not forget that still place within us that we can find, that sense of space and peace and infinity and observation, because in that space there is the ability for us to lose our fear of death and dying. Because in experiencing this place of consciousness, of infinity, of non-attachment, we can paradoxically connect to everyone and everything that we hold dear. And we can do it in all time, past, present, and future. In the work that I do in helping teach people ways of navigating the end-of-life transition and becoming cognizant, becoming conscious of death as part of life, I try to explain this idea of consciousness, of soul, because I think it holds such a precious key to opening a window, unlocking and opening a window on a greater understanding of life and life beyond life. When my friend dies, I will cry many tears, and those tears will honor all the time and all the memories we have together in physical form. But I will also open the window in my soul to experience her as infinity. Another example of this is my mother and I, we loved each other so much, but we also had a very turbulent relationship, and the turbulence increased as her death drew near, and neither of us got the ending of her physical form life that we would have wanted. It was a mess, really. Following the death of her physical form, I felt myself almost in some sort of post-traumatic stress situation, and I couldn't deal with her death for a long time. Over time, I started to jettison ego, the I said, she said, you said side of things. And I started to see her as a soul being in that Renaissance thing, that soul that had been affected and influenced by the pushes and pulls of cosmos. When I did that, something pure and beautiful emerged. The butterfly leaving the chrysalis. I started to redefine our connection as a soul one, as an energetic one, as consciousness. No more I said, she said, my toe, her toe. We just were. We just are. And within that, the relationship shifted, a window opened. A window open to a deeper understanding, a deeper connection that detached itself from ego, but connected itself to pure and infinite love, the infinity of consciousness. Resting in this peaceful place of consciousness can help us navigate all parts of the life cycle, the dying and the birthing, the living, the dying. Yes, it is an ending of one way of being together and experiencing the world, but it is also the birth of a whole new way of being and connecting. When we make peace with that idea inside ourselves, we become infinite, we become consciousness, we become God. The temple resides within us. We are given this gift of life in this physical form, and the experiences we can draw from this stage of being can be rich and are varied. When we pay close attention to the seasons and the cycles, the life, birth, death, decay in nature all around us, we can see beginnings, endings, beginnings. Does the butterfly remember being the chrysalis? Does the chrysalis remember being the caterpillar? Life gives us life, gives us life. Death is not an ending. It's also a changing of form, a birthing into something new. The person that we love who dies is birthing into a new path, and we are saying goodbye to their physical form, but also birthing in a new way of being with them, with their memory, with their essence, with their consciousness, with their infinity in this world. When we feel and experience this, we can understand the power of compassion and the power of loving kindness, because this compassion and loving kindness can echo through time. The beauty of really starting to get acquainted with consciousness means that it can help us accept the letting go of physical form, but it gives us the gift of infinite connection. If today has piqued some curiosity, you want to explore things further, I invite you to take a look at my website, georginalnature.com, and check out the Being Here hub, Transforming Human Experience. This is a deep dive into navigating, living and dying. And in doing that, we connect to each other, we connect to nature, and we deepen our way of showing up compassionately in this world. Thank you for joining me here in the Soul Garden, and I look forward to seeing you next time.